It feels so good to wake up in my own bed with my little friends in my own home again. There were times, especially the early days at the nursing home, I just felt like giving up. I've, People that know me really well probably shocked about that because I've never even thought about giving up before. But the pain, the confusion, the worry, it all just got to me. I can't really describe how good it feels to have my old life back again with my little friends and my my neighbors and all that entails. I kind of got some of the missing gaps filled in. Apparently, around the end of September, the beginning of October, um, I had a cellulitis infection in my leg that I knew about. What I didn't know about was I had a kidney stone that had caused a urinary tract infection, and I had a cracked place in my skin in an area that I really don't see because it's between my groin and my leg that had gotten infected and actually had abscessed. So these three things caused me to develop septicemia, and basically I went into shock, and I was shambling around the house like a zombie when my neighbor Doug found me. He got my cousins Charles Prentice and his wife Peggy to come out and look at me, and they decided to call for an ambulance. Now, I'd already screwed up once that same weekend and took the wrong medication, and I took my evening pills that morning. I took my morning pills that night, and I was in a bad way. And my neighbors across the street, Naomi and Hillis, found me and helped me. So I was already in kind of rough shape when the weekend started. And but when they found me, I didn't know anything. Couldn't talk, couldn't communicate. They called for an ambulance. Uh, Doug said that I struggled going down the steps. I didn't want to go. All I can remember of that is I remember Charles Prentice trying to talk to me, and I couldn't understand him. And I remember a guy maybe in his 50s with graying hair uh, put me in the back of the ambulance and trying to calm me down. Then after that, all I remember is probably about 10 days later when I woke up in the hospital. And I remember got a flash of my cousins Denise and Lily Mae talking to a nurse. Got a flash of my cousin Tamika explaining to me what had happened, and I was confused. She had mentioned they put a stent in, but I thought she was talking about when I had one put in back in 2018. And basically, the better part of the 2 weeks of my life is gone. I have no idea about any of it. All I can remember is the pain as they held me down and put a catheter in me. Why they didn't put me unconscious first, I have no idea, because in Logan, that's what they always did. They always anesthetized me and then put the thing in and anesthetized me and took it out. I remember the pain of them holding me down and forcing that in me. How horrible it felt. How on earth people can pretend to take the Hippocratic Oath seriously and do that, I don't know. And I think it was a day or two after I'd woke up, uh, I remember they transported me to Kingsbrook, where I've been at since then. And really good facility, great people there, took excellent care of me. And a lot of pain. I lost I think it was 22 or 24 pounds while through this whole ordeal. When I got on the scales at Kingsbrook, I weighed 262 pounds. I was shocked because the last time I'd been weighed, it was at Dr. Lafferty's office, and I weighed 285 back in September. Literally, I felt like my body was covered with lead, or like gravity had increased. My blood pressure was haywire. But the physical therapy people there worked with me a couple times a day and got me to where I could walk a little, got me to where I could go up the steps a couple of times, and eventually helped me recover a little bit of my strength and a little bit of my stamina. When I come home last night, I literally swarmed up them steps. There's like 16, 17 steps in front of the house to get to the top floor. And when I come in, the dogs saw me and stopped barking, and then they walked over like they couldn't believe their eyes. I guess they had given up on ever seeing me again. But when they realized it was really me and they heard my voice, they went nuts, wanting me to pick them up. So I sat down in my grandmother's chair and picked them up and set them in my lap. And they just went crazy, want me to pet them and loving on me. It's so good to come home. So good. I owe so many people tremendous debt that I'll never be able to repay. My neighbor Doug took good care of my dogs while I was away. I owe him my life, really. I could have died here in the house, and who knows how long it would have been until I'd been found. My neighbors that found me the day before, when I took the wrong medications, I owe them too. My cousins who been there for me through this whole thing. My brothers David and Brian. Brian paid my water bill while I was in the hospital. I'm just glad to have my life back. And things are going to be different. I've got stage 2 kidney disease now, and I have a heart condition now. Never had any problems there before, so I'm going to have to cope and adjust and address that. But still, it's good to be home. So good to be home.